Good afternoon, everybody. I'm glad that you're all here. Actually, I'm glad I'm here too. And what I want to talk to you about today is weight. It's a very depressing subject, actually. And what I want to talk about regarding weight is why we can't lose weight. Worse, if we lose it, why we regain it. You realize that the diet industry is a multi-billion-dollar-a-year industry. Nobody, that is, none of the companies take records except for one, and that is Weight Watchers. And they have stated, if I remember the statistics properly, that after 2 years of weight loss, the average weight loss that a person has been able to maintain is a loss of about 3.5 pounds. That is not a significant weight loss for most people. So what we're going to talk about are simply, what does our body do to make us gain weight? What are those mechanisms that prevents us from losing weight? And if we do lose weight, what does our body do to make us regain it? So we'll talk about weight gain, weight loss, how our body forces us to maintain our weight and to regain any weight that's lost. That's what we're hitting today. So, and I did this by myself. I'm very proud of this slide. So, what we have, first of all, are carbohydrates. Carbohydrates is mainly glucose. No matter what we eat, whether it's proteins, lipids, or carbohydrates, it's converted to glucose and then metabolized. So we can just focus on carbohydrates. We eat an essential foodstuff, say a Snickers or a pizza. And what happens? One of two things. Either it's completely utilized and it's all metabolized, burned up, or it's not. And that's where the problems begin. If there is excess carbohydrates that you have ingested that is not metabolized, then it's converted to glycogen, which is the animal equivalent of starch. And the glycogen is short-term energy storage. And if there is an excess of glycogen that accumulates, then the glycogen is converted to fat. Isn't fat a four-letter word? All right. So what we have here then is our fats. Okay, that's 4 letters. And what we have is that the body has to store the fat. And this is the sad part. It creates fat cells to store them. And once those fat cells are produced, they're there forever, which can be a very long time. And then what happens is that the fat cells have to be kept together. So it puts the fat cells in a mesentery and it produces adipose tissue. If you've ever taken a look at a chicken and pull it apart, you see all this yellow stuff? That is the adipose tissue, which is identical to what humans have. Here is a weight gain example. Let's say we have a 2,200 calorie per day requirement. That's normal for most men. And let's say we're very, very careful for what we eat. And what happens is that we end up eating 2,210 calories. 10 calories difference. I calculated this. I've taken calculus, you see. And what happens is that 10 calories a day too much. That's less than 0.1% over what our daily requirements are. Do you mind if I say that's nothing? Except it's something. Why? Because over a period of a year, and that's 365 days in a year, unless it's leap year, then we're gaining actually 3,650 calories. I was generous, just at 3,600 calories per year extra, based on the 10 calories per day. Problem is that a pound of fat is the equivalent of 3,500 calories. So what happens? At the end of a year, you've gained about a little over 1 pound. Over 10 years, it's at 10.3 or 10 to 11 pounds. Over 20 years, it's 20 to 24 pounds extra that you've gained. And you look and you say, what happened? Where did, I eat so carefully. How did I gain so much weight? It's depressing. It drives you to eat. And so it's even worse than this, because you know that as you age, normally we become more sedentary in our ways, less active. And as we age, our organs start to atrophy, and atrophied organs require less energy. So what 20 years ago or 10 years ago, it was 2,200 calories, would be significantly less. So this 20 to 24 pounds in 20 years is a best case scenario, not the worst. You're going to gain a lot more than that. Take a look at the actors. As they age, they plump up.